Hi guys, we're now sitting at Grenada. We're still trying to catch up with last year's editing. So we shot this footage earlier in the year when we were down at Chacachacare. This island has a long history, which we'll go into during the video. We hope you enjoy, and please remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.
Chacachacare is the westernmost island in the Epiosde Dragon, the Dragon's Mouth, a strait separating Trinidad from Venezuela, and it's part of the Bocas Island chain, which includes Monos, Epiosde, Caspar Grand and others. The island is very rugged, hilly and mostly covered with tropical vegetation. It's absolutely haven for mosquitoes and sandflies, so be warned. In the early 15th century, Trinidad was colonised by the Spanish, and they used it as a base so that they could go and plunder South America. In the late 18th and 19th century, French planters fleeing a revolution in Haiti settled in Trinidad whilst under Spanish control, and they brought enslaved Africans with them, and Chacachacare was briefly used for cotton plantations during this time. We explore the island by dinghy with some friends.
Toilet still intact?
Fast forward, and England take control of Trinidad and do nothing with Chacachacare until about 1887. When it was established as a leper colony by the British colonial authorities in Trinidad. The colony included basic housing, a hospital, a chapel, staff quarters, and these were spread out the many bays on the island. Dominican nuns were brought in from France to care for the patients and manage daily operations. The leper colony operated up to the 1950s, after which patients were gradually transferred back to the mainland hospital. Today, the ruins of the colony still remain, including the hospital, the nuns' quarters, the cemetery, the chapel, the male village and the female village. Opposite sex weren't allowed to mingle because they thought any offspring would be born with the disease.
Say there's a fair few amount of people. Look at that.
Oh my, so this is yeah.
We've often wondered what all the vultures feed on. Now we know. Once they get bored, they just attack each other to the death. During World War II, the islands was briefly used by the USA as a military base, as they had a navy base in Chagaramis, and they used this island as a radar base. And back to the dinghies we go. After the leper colony closed, Chacachacare was abandoned for decades and it became overgrown and the buildings fell into disrepair and ruin. But there's much to offer the urban explorer to look at all the old buildings, and the bays are used for anchorages, which can get very busy at the weekends. In 1945, a Buddhist retreat temple was built on the island. However, we couldn't get in to explore.
This is the power station.
Ah, yes.
Hmm?
That's the power station.
There you go. I'll tell you one thing, they get a lovely view. Oh, somebody's made a makeshift crapper. This is the old whaling station.
Natural water supplies on the island, so it's all collected in these big vats when it rained. And you fancy drinking this?
Oh, here's a yellow marker.
We found some yellow markers that marks a trail, so we came back a few days later to follow the markers. And on the trail we met a man who was clearing the trail for an endurance race in a few weeks' time, where all participants were allowed to run 22 kilometres and are not allowed any food or water. Madness. The hospital finally closed in 1987, and in its time saw some 2,000 patients over a 100-year span. Despite periodic plans to develop the island for tourism, including proposals from both local and foreign investors, no major development has occurred. Back in the 90s, when Trinidad hosted the Miss World competition, President Trump talked about building a hotel on the island, but that all fell through. Today, Chacachacare is uninhabited but remains a place of haunting beauty and is allegedly haunted. However, as can be seen from the footage, the beaches are full of rubbish. Me, Irene, Mark and Sonia did our best to clean up one of the sections of the beach, which was probably a wasted effort.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and in our next episode we will finally set sail back up north to Grenada. See you! Saracen out!